everybody. It's the Golden Girls. I'm glad people are showing up.
Yay.
Good.
And to get started, let's see. I'll introduce everybody. We've got Marina as Sophia, and Val as Rose, Sherry as Blanche, and me, I am Dorothy. We are the Golden Girls. We're talking about politics. And we started talking before we ever came on, and we're, well, like Val said, we're all fired up.
We're fired up.
There's so many good things going
All
on.
fired up and ready to go, as Obama used to say.
And so just before we get started with everything, I'd like to remind everybody to, if you haven't already, subscribe to all our channels and like our channels and like what we're doing on this video. So, all right. So the discussion today is obviously the election, and let's face it, Kamala Harris is just doing an amazing job. And even with all the foreign interference and with all the lies and with all the, the things that don't make any sense, she's the one common thing of just making sense out of normal stuff.
Yes.
And we're still dealing with a lot of weirdness with Trump, and I don't expect that to change much right on through the election. I'm having a feeling that Trump is going to get real cranky when he doesn't win it. And they've already, the Trumpsters have already taken, yes, the Trumpsters have already taken stuff to courts to try to, I don't know. They're going to just try to interfere with everything if it doesn't go his way.
Of course, because that's
the
GOP way.
We're just going to see how we can traverse this little weirdness that is going on. But, first, let's talk about Kamala Harris. I mean, I am getting to really love that woman. I mean, every time I turn around, she is doing something great. And so, somebody just came in and interrupted my thoughts. But anyway, I mean, Kamala Harris, I mean, the things she's talking about, I know they're trying to criticize her. They want to hear specific things, and maybe she didn't say it. Well, she has said all the right things, and she is bringing out this stuff about Trump. And, the latest thing was, what was the word she used?
Well done, Lorraine.
Both are orange hollow.
Just a little jack-o'-lantern Halloween joke about the old Donald.
Yes.
Donald.
Well, at least they're both the same color.
Jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. Both are orange hollow and should be tossed in November.
And he's orange hollow. Perfect. And he should be tossed in November.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, Kamala was excellent tonight. Barack Obama was on fire tonight. Tyler Perry, OMG. It was really, really good. And the one thing that Kamala has that Donald doesn't have is she has things. She's got a plan. He has a concept.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lie. He doesn't even have a concept. No. He's lying when he says he has a concept. He doesn't have any reason to implement a health program. He doesn't want to spend the money on it. If he gets in there, it's just going to be his rich cronies and him living off the fat of the United States of America, off our backs, and for entertainment.
He's not interested in being president. He just wants to stay out of jail.
It's the biggest grift it's the biggest grift he's ever done, and it worked out well the first time in his eyes. So he wants to do it again to keep himself out of jail. And but it's not going to work.
No, it's not going to work. I think he's going to have a real tough time, especially once here's what I think. When the election is decided and Kamala Harris is our next president, I think Trump is going to, now I'm going to say lose his mind, and we already know he has lost his mind, but it's going to be even worse. I think he's just going to lose it right in front of the entire world, basically.
Yes. He's going back into the womb. So he's just going to revert back into being
Yeah, absolutely.
A newborn straight out of the womb would make more sense than he will.
Yes.
So, I mean, I have to tell you, don't get mad at me, folks. I feel a little compassion for how messed up he is and what he has in front of him, because he is going to face all of his creations coming at him full steam ahead, and lose the election. So this is a bridge too far for his brain to be able to handle it. Yeah. So I'm, as a human being, I feel a little going, oh.
And the one thing that really is going to kind of, I think, do him in more than anything else is the fact that not only would he lose to a woman, but he would lose to a Black woman.
And he is so racial. He is prejudiced
That
from
is
the word go.
Oh, did you hear the thing he said about Mexicans?
Oh my gosh!
He's so racist. He's so racist.
Oh yes, so racist.
Did he say it to a Mexican group, or was it?
Oh God, I can't remember. Also, I remember something about the fucking Mexicans. And
right.
Yeah, I mean, he just came right out and said that. You know, he is in such decline and saying just the most screwball. Well, he always has said terrible things, but we kind of are numb to that. We just kind of accept it as Trump. It's getting worse all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and this thing right here about Arizona.
District 2, between incumbent MAGA dude Eli Crane and former Navajo Nation President Jonathan Nez, polls are moving toward Nez in part due to BTC's efforts.
Boy, that's a lot more information than I even understand. All I know is that they are saying that Trump in Arizona might get Arizona and Nevada, and then the polls are so
Trump is not going to win here in Nevada. I can tell you that right now. Don't even worry about it. We're definitely a Kamala Harris blue state.
Really? Because the polls aren't saying that, Val. They're
saying polls aren't right.
I don't believe anything the polls say.
Not correct. The polls are not correct. No. Do not listen to the polls. Do not listen.
Yes.
Anyone out there. It is just a sampling of people that are skewed. You can't.
Yeah, the only polls being taken are from right-wing people who have landlines.
Thank you.
They're not talking to anybody under the age of 60.
Thank you.
Well, okay. So anyway, that's what they've said lately is that, Trump would get Arizona and Nevada, and that
he won't. And I believe, and even Sterling said Arizona is going to go blue. Listen to Sterling.
Yeah. Well, Arizona. I like Sterling. he's pretty accurate.
He said Arizona and Nevada are going to go blue. I mean, that's just how it is.
Wow. Well, that's good news.
For Trump, I pulled the 10 of Wands. The burden is getting to be too great for him. He is not holding up. And then I got the world, because the whole world is watching right now to see what we're doing and how we're doing it. And how we fall is going to be how the rest of the world falls.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
and
there are these right-wing attacks all around the globe.
Yeah.
And then I pulled the 3 of Pentacles reversed.
Mm.
So whatever hopes that he had
Yeah.
of any kind of partnerships, people working together to help him, down
It's
the toilet.
not going to work. And I love Sally saying one hint is the number of registered voters. Many Republicans are leaving the party.
Mhm.
So this is something happening right now. So
Yeah.
just know that more is happening in this last week or two than you even have any concept of. The polls are not going to be accurate at all. They're prepared. Their sampling is off. You
Yeah.
can't trust them. And yeah.
You know
If
what?
nobody
That would
else
be-
saw it, go to Linda G's channel on her community page. She posted a video, a TikTok video of this woman our age, someone in her late 50s, early 60s, who
Oh, thank
lives
you.
in Tennessee. And she went to go vote early. And Val, you're our age. Don't worry about it. I knocked you down.
Clean up my sister.
Yeah.
But this
On another
woman
way.
went to go vote on like day 5 or day 6 of early voting there in the little town in Tennessee where she lives. The line was down the street and around the corner. She said she's never in her life had seen more than 4 or 5 people in the voting place at once in all the years that she's been voting. When she finally got inside and she asked one of the poll workers, has it been like this all day? And the person said, it's been like this all week since we opened the doors. Every day, all day, down the street and around the corner. She said people are coming out of the woodworks to vote that have never voted before in their life.
Yeah.
I mean, and this woman was in tears in her car after she had voted, talking about the fact that she could not believe this many people in her little town were showing up to vote and to vote early and in massive numbers like they've never seen. And I
Wow.
think we're going to see that everywhere.
Yeah.
I really do.
Mhm.
I do too. You know how, remember when Linda said there'd be dancing in the streets when Biden
Yes.
won? There's going to be dancing in the streets with Kamala. And
Oh,
I feel like we're going to know, but of course it's going to be tremendous conflict in them, going after each state that should have been
Yes.
red and
Yeah.
recounting
Oh.
and all of this and cheating and accusing us of all
Yeah.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I think that
Chris
No, it's-
Cassidy, vote early and often.
except don't vote often.
Or wait and vote on
Well,
January 5th, like Donald Trump said.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
January,
right. Absolutely.
vote January 5th for all you GOPers out there who might be sampling this show. Vote on January 5th, just like Donald Trump, your leader, says.
Follow his advice.
Follow his advice to the letter now.
Well, and then I just recently heard that we have other interference, that this specifically from Russia. I've been talking all year about foreign interference, and Russia was certainly the first thing that comes to mind. But anyway, this is for sure thing. Microsoft is trying to stop it, but they're just letting us know that there's a lot of misinformation coming from Russia that is in Trump's favor. Duh! Is that a surprise? Russia is trying to help Donald Trump get to be president.
Also,
Hey,
several states that have already started early voting, there have already been people reporting that when they go in the booth and they do the little computer thing and they push for Kamala Harris, Donald Trump comes up.
Yes,
And when
I
they push for
read
this
that.
person, the Republican comes up. And
They
it
kept
took
doing it and doing it,
4 or
trying to
5
calibrate
times
it so that it wouldn't change to Donald Trump.
Yeah. They wound up having to go in and like pull half the machines out and recalibrate all of them.
Yeah.
But there were some pissed off people. And for those that went
That's
before
why
them,
I vote by
they're
paper
now
ballot.
worried, well, did it record my vote accurately because I didn't think to look.
I do not trust a machine. I put my little ballpoint pen on my mark, and my vote has already gotten to the officials. They've sent me an email saying we received it. By the way, Bill Gates he sent 50 million and is voting for Kamala Harris. So 50 million from Bill Gates for Kamala Harris.
Wow.
That's
Bill Gates
fantastic.
and Warren Buffett, I thought he would say something. He's not jumping in the ring on anybody right now only because there's been so much misinformation and lies told about him that he decided, no, I'm not going to do anything one way or the other. So anything you hear about him, he's
doing what he does on the down low. He doesn't want to make a spectacle because he doesn't want to get involved in the dirty politics of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's
So what did I teach you all? Don't pay attention to the polls. Kamala is winning, but we must have every vote because they're cheating. Just like one of you all said, some guy was caught with 20 ballots that he was going to throw away or whatever. So you have to realize cheating is happening.
Yes.
You have to vote on massive, massive amounts of people voting for Kamala. So it doesn't matter. It won't make any difference to how many votes are stolen. We will win because you're voting Kamala blue all the way down the ticket.
Absolutely.
It has to be by numbers so large that no matter how much they try to gerrymander it or dick around with it.
Dick around.
Well, that's like this lady on the video that I saw. She was talking about her district was so gerrymandered that most people didn't even bother to vote anymore because it was like, why bother? My vote's not going to count anyway because the district's so gerrymandered.
Yeah.
And like I said, this woman was in tears, laughing and crying at the same time in disbelief at all the people she saw there to vote. Yeah. It's like, if we did that every time, we would change the direction of this country overnight.
The women's issues stirred up the soul and heart of America, baby. Nobody is going to keep us down, or nobody is going to tell us what to do with our bodies. No
Damn
one.
Straight.
Yeah.
So
the day that a man gets pregnant and the day that a man gives birth, I will allow him to express his opinion about what I should do with my body. Until then, sit down, shut the F up.
Yeah. That's what I told my husband because he was talking about the bill that was on Nevada's ballot, where it made it sound like when you're 9 months along, you can get an abortion, blah, 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 blah. And it made it sound so horrid. And I said, that isn't how it works. And I said, until you are going to have a baby and then men have babies, you shut the F up and don't say anything. You have no right. Yeah. So you know what? He voted against that kind of restriction. Thank goodness.
Yay. Well, this whole thing with Kamala Harris, she's only been in the running for what, maybe almost 3 months now, or is it even less than that?
I feel like it's only like 6 weeks, but maybe 3 months.
Maybe it is that. I don't know, but all I know is now I keep watching her and seeing her and how she speaks and what she's talking about. And I'm thinking I liked her in the beginning, but I really didn't know anything about her. More and more we're getting to know her.
The more I learn about her, the more I love her.
That's what I said. That's what I said on some.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, she's going to bring the rule of law, and she is a leader. She knows what needs to be done, and she does not have any slow bone in her body. Yeah. She's going to not be, I'm sorry, everyone. She's not going to be like, she's going to put someone in that DOJ and Garland is going to have to retire
Yes.
because someone needs to get in there that can work at Kamala's speed, which is I'm going to take your ass. And
Someone that's not afraid to bust balls.
Yes.
Basically, is what they need.
Yes.
Right on. Yes.
She's not messing around. She's not slow. So, you know,
That's right.
Uh-uh.
Well,
I
and
totally
love
agree
it
with
that-
Chris.
I love
Yes.
it that she's a black woman because black women in general, they are just kind of like no nonsense. Let's get down to it. And that's the way Kamala is. And she's
Yes.
just so smart and so good at
Yeah.
speaking. And all the stuff that she wants to do for
Well,
us.
and she's dedicated her entire
to public service.
working
Public
life
service.
to
Yes.
public service in the law to take those that break the law and make them pay for it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
she has always served the people.
Oh, and
Always.
she's
never-
not intimidated by any of this stuff either. Not
No.
whatsoever. And she's brought it right out and she said, yes, Trump is a fascist. He's a
Mhm.
fascist. And
Yeah.
and they're looking around like, oh my God, she actually came right out and said that. Yeah, she said the truth. She said
Yeah,
what's
she said
going
what
on.
we've all been thinking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She
Absolutely.
said what most
I
of
have
us
to say,
know and didn't want to say out loud.
Kamala Harris, her destiny is for this moment. She was just like a Barack Obama stepped into that. Wow, where did he come from? Wow, he stepped into the moment. This is the same thing that's happening with Kamala. Boom.
Yeah.
I
And
heard
even
somebody say,
It's the same thing that happened to our beloved president. So Biden stepped in and he was our savior.
Yes.
Amazingly, he won over Trump and he was our savior. Same thing. I really feel divinely ordained that Obama was our president. Trump had to be in there to give us that shakeup and to show us where the flaws are in our laws and our Constitution and to refine things. And Biden came in and saved the day. And now Kamala is going to bring in the divine feminine, the power of the law
yeah,
of the divine feminine, and
I heard
how compassion and the rule of law can be together, where we bring laws that are for society,
right.
where we can all live a better
I heard
life.
a pundit say earlier today, something I was listening to, and they were talking about how many times did Joe Biden run for president in his life? Like 3 or 4 times. Never even got close because it wasn't his time. The divine had their time set for him. They knew that he was going to be the right one at the
Yeah.
right time
Right
to
time.
heal the wounds and help us to be able to kind of regain our footing.
To
just
take a
like-
breath again.
Exactly. Just like Obama stepped in right after we dealt with Bush for 8 years
Yes.
and the mess that was left. And then here came Obama with hope and new ideas.
Beautiful
and
heart.
we can
and
do
this
it.
Beautiful energy.
It
Oh.
was so
Breath of fresh air.
overwhelming.
Breath of
And
fresh air.
not to say anything bad about John McCain. John McCain was a good man. I didn't agree with his politics,
I didn't
but he was
either.
a good man and he did his best. And he served his country in more ways than most people will ever have to imagine.
Well, and
I
Sarah
cannot
Palin-
imagine being a prisoner of war for what was it, like 6 years or whatever it
Yeah.
was. I mean,
Yeah, it
and
was
there
good.
was twice when
Yeah.
they could have released him when they found out who his father and grandfather were.
Yeah,
And he refused to be released before others that
right.
had been there longer than him.
Yep. And I
You
have
know,
to say
that takes real fortitude.
it
from
does.
someone.
And I think I really think the only reason why he did not win is because the
Sarah
party
Palin.
wanted Palin in with him, and he didn't. He
That's
if
when he
wanted
lost my vote.
it, he should have stood. He didn't want it. He should have stood his ground and said no. But the party wanted her in because she was the new Tea Party movement, and she spoke. She was like the first Trump. This is what the stuff that came out of her mouth was so outlandish. It didn't make any sense. The word salad, the word yes, exactly. She could see Russia from her backyard. The word salad of that woman was a nightmare. And that killed him. That killed his whole entire.
I was living in Arizona when Obama ran the first time. And, at that time, I was still registered as a Republican.
Yeah.
And I was pulling for John McCain because I liked him. He'd been our senator for years.
Oh.
He had done a really good job as senator.
I
like trusted
John
him.
McCain too.
I trusted him. I mean,
Yeah,
and then Obama
honest.
shows up, and I'm starting to look at him, and it was like, wait a minute, I really like this guy. He's making a lot of sense. And then they put that idiotic woman in there with McCain, and that's what I said. Nope,
That's like
you lost me. I'm done.
That was
and
it.
That was it. And I went complete reversal, full force. Went to work for Obama's campaign, and my mom and I both together because she was in Phoenix with me at the time. I'll never forget that night when he won. I mean, my mother and I jumping up and down in the living room, screaming and yelling and crying all at the same time. And then we looked at each other and we both sat down on the sofa and started bawling our eyes out. It was like we could not believe what had just happened.
Yeah.
I mean, because
the first Black president of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Well, he's half white, but you know what I
and
mean.
these from two Southern
person of
women
color.
born and bred in the Deep South. To see that, it was like, our minds were blown. I know.
Yes.
I don't know who cried harder, me or my mom.
Yes, it can happen. It did happen, and it will happen this time, where we have our first woman president of the United States, who just happens to be half Asian, Indian, half what is she? Half Jamaican. Jamaican.
I think
her father is Jamaican.
Her father was
Jamaican.
Yes, he was Jamaican, and
Jamaican.
her mom was in.
Her mom, her dad is like a Stanford professor. He's highly
her mom was no
educated.
sleaze either. She was
her
a
mom
professor
was
too.
a research scientist for cure for cancer, I think. Listen, her parents were very amazing people. Or her dad's still alive.
Yeah, I loved watching earlier when they were in Georgia, and Barack Obama was speaking, and he was talking about some of the ridiculous things that Trump has said and done, and how, he said, if this was your grandfather, you'd be on the phone with your cousins and so on saying, do you notice what grandpa did? And then he started talking about all the things that Trump has taken credit for. Like, well, Trump sent me a check. No, I sent you a check. Biden sent you a check. We just didn't put our names on it. So whatever. And then he said how he said, when I left office, I handed the Trump administration 75 months of steady employment growth and great economy and so on. He said, so when he took over and he started talking about the great economy, that was because I gave it to him.
That's right.
And I thought, oh, good. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
Said it all. I don't think he left anything on the table in his speech during the rallies, because he really is calling it out, saying it right out there. No, this misperception. No, this is what the real truth is.
Yes,
and doing it in a funny way. So,
yeah. And with immigrants being such a hot ticket right now, as we're going through this, it reminds me of Obama's second run for president. I was back in Louisiana, and one of our neighbors, a gentleman who was in his mid-50s, mid to late 50s, was from Central America. He had come to this country as a refugee. He had become a citizen. I'll never forget the day he got his citizenship. He come running to the house to come tell me and Mama. He was so excited. Well, when early voting started and we asked, Mama was telling me, you got to go vote early so you don't have to wait in the long lines and stuff. I will never forget the look on that man's face when he got back from voting. And he come over to the house. He knock on the door. Tears were streaming down his face while he was laughing and crying at the same time. It was the first time ever in his life that he got to vote for his leadership.
Yeah.
And he was so proud of that, And at that moment, it didn't matter to him if Obama won or lost. It was just the fact that his voice, he had a say in who he wanted to be his leader.
This is our precious
and
democracy.
That joy on his face,
and
the tears in his voice that I still get choked up, that it really kind of brought it home to me. Someone who just takes it for advantage, because I've lived here all my life, of what others who come here seeking that and how they feel when they get that opportunity.
That's
when they get to become a citizen and they get to
take
go
it for
vote for that
granted.
first time.
Don't take it for granted, folks. This is
Exactly.
something, we are of the light, the beacon on the hill for the world. Because who in many, many countries can say they have free and fair elections where they know their vote counted? It is a very, very important thing. And that's why we have to vote for Kamala Harris, because Trump is really looking to be an autocrat and to have the military follow what he says, not what the generals say or what Congress says or anything. No equal branches, the three equal branches of government that oversee each other. No, just Trump. And no constitution.
Yeah, exactly. My way or the highway. Here you go.
Right.
Well, he's already said he wants to get rid of the Constitution because it's no good.
Yes.
Well, I think the way things are going, that we're going to find out when it's over and done with, and Kamala's president, and Trump is lost, and he goes crazy. That they're gonna, all the Republicans are gonna look up and go, "Oh my God, he really is nuts," because he's gonna do something really nutty, and probably really dangerous. He would like to create civil war and stuff, but I just don't think he's got enough backers on that. Plus, some of these people, these rich people, are looking around thinking about the tariffs and all the stuff that, what Trump is setting us up for is to tank the economy again. I mean, let's not forget by the time he left office, he had tanked the economy. So, the thing with
added
it's just going to be,
was it 13 trillion to the deficit, something like that. I mean,
yes. And Biden has actually brought that down by $1 trillion. I can't remember if it's 2, 3, 4, 10. I mean, it doesn't matter. When we're talking trillion, I can't even put that in my calculator. It won't fit.
I know. It's
But yes, he has tanked the economy in the past. He knows how to do bankruptcy better than anybody. And he would like to bankrupt the country, because the more that he can put people in a poor place, the more control he has over us. But we are going to see something after this is all over, where other people that wanted Trump are going to say, thank God we didn't vote Trump in. And I'll be sitting back going, Republicans, you're welcome. Because this could be,
we saved your ass again.
Historical.
And it was
and Obama said that was something else that he said tonight. When it came to the economy, he said, I inherited a mess, and it took me 8 years to get us out of the mess that the Republicans left.
Right.
And he said, I handed Trump a really, well-run economy and blah, blah, blah.
Bill
and
Clinton.
what did he do with it?
ran it into
Bill
the
Clinton
ground.
took
And don't
office.
forget, he gave him the playbook for a pandemic.
Clinic. Yes.
A complete
And had
playbook.
the people in place around
Had
the
them
world.
already, had all the people in all the agencies ready to step in. He never implement it. I mean, he never
tossed it
he just
out.
tossed it
He
out.
fired the doctors. I mean, he just the craziness that he did. It's just amazing that Biden did what he did. But this thing about the Republicans constantly, this is not just a Trump thing. This is historical with Republicans. They get in there, they overspend, they can't agree on stuff. They take the deficit way high. Then we put in Clinton. Clinton did the same thing. He brought
Clinton
it
did the
Cleaned it up.
cleaned up the mess and
Took him
handed
in there,
W
too, you know,
handed
and-
W a surplus. For the
Yes,
first
yes.
time in generations, we were not in debt as a country. We had
Yeah.
a surplus when Bill Clinton left office after 8 years. And all anybody could talk about was whether or not he got a blowjob in the back office.
And I
It's
thi-
like,
I
who
think
gives
he
a
did.
shit?
I think he
You
did.
know?
I think the dress kind of convicted him on that one. But
It's a proven
But
fact.
the point
And
being is like, who cares?
you
It
can
has nothing to do with his job as
It's
president.
historic. It's historically fact that Democratic
Governance.
do not leave debt. They clean debt up. They clean the Republican debt up.
yeah,
The Republicans caused the debt. My husband
Republicans
is in
claim
the
to be
kitchen.
conservative, but they're not. They spend money like drunken sailors.
Are you gaslighting him, man? Are you trying to provoke him?
over and over again. So, fortunately, Kamala Harris won't have to deal with that because Biden has brought us back up,
Yes.
put us back together, got the economy kind of squared away a little bit. The inflation is coming down. More and more prices are coming down. So,
Look what just popped up when I was shuffling.
okay.
The high priestess.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Kamala.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Oh, yeah.
She, my spirit guides keep telling me she's just going to do an amazing job.
He
And,
is going to do
will.
an amazing job. And
but
you know,
every day I still ask them, "Are you guys sure now? Are you are you
do
telling
not
me the
worry.
truth?"
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But the words that kept going through my mind this whole entire time in the days leading up to is Benjamin Franklin when he said, "It's a republic if you can keep it." I mean, this is his response to Elizabeth Willing Powell's question. Well, doctor, what have we got? A republic or a monarchy? And he said, a republic if you can keep it. And this is us
Right.
holding on as tight as we can to our democratic republic that we, the people, forged in that document so many years ago.
Yes.
The Constitution of the United States of America. It is still a very fine document that we just have to refine
It's
some
a
whole
living
loopholes in it.
document.
Because
It's
no
a
one
living
accepted
document.
an
It was
implemented
written.
behavior.
It was written with the intention that it would be changed as times changed and as society changed. The
Yes.
founding fathers had the brains to realize
No.
we're going to get smarter. We're going to grow
Yes.
bigger. Things are going to
Smarter.
change that we can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
That
And the
our
thing-
future
one of the things,
people are going to be dealing with.
yeah.
The Constitution needs to move with them.
And
You
yes,
know?
and the Constitution was talked about everyone's the freedom and liberty for all. That includes our civil liberties, our personal bodily liberties, anything you were talking about that affects you, the government doesn't have a say in. It's not right. It's not constitutional. Let's just go
That's right.
down that rabbit hole. And so, we are, trying to live up to the Constitution. We're trying to live up to it. And we haven't been at the top of that game yet, but we're still aspiring.
Well, and
because-
Trump
I mean, did our
throw out the Constitution. He doesn't want to follow the Constitution. He wants
No.
nothing to do with it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how? What are you talking about? This is what we based everything on for hundreds of years. Now you're telling us
and we're not
Constitution.
we're not based upon anyone's religion or any biblical
No.
text.
No.
We're based on law. Is
The
what they
rule of
based
law.
the foundation of this country on, was on the rule of law. George Washington did not swear into office with his hand on a Bible. God forbid. I don't think the man would have touched one if it meant whatever, you know. He signed in on a book of laws.
And
is
they
what
tried
he
to make him
signed
a
in.
king.
I know.
You have to tell him no. I don't want to be a king.
Yeah.
He was
It's
the
funny
perfect
that
example of the smooth transition of power from
Yes,
one leader to the next.
that is the miraculous thing about the United States of America, that we can live with the shift in parties back and forth and the shift in balance of powers. That's what makes us stable and beautiful.
And did our founding
400
fathers
years
fuck up
change.
sometimes? Yes, they did. Did
Yeah.
they make some laws that were pretty damn stupid in our
Yes.
eyes that fit for them?
Because we make
Yes, they
mistakes.
did.
Yeah.
Did they own slaves when they were fighting
Yes,
for
they
freedom?
did. Yes.
That doesn't compute in our brains.
It
but
doesn't,
yes,
but
they
it
did.
happens. Because
But that doesn't mean that they didn't
Right.
learn from those mistakes, or that we can't learn from those mistakes.
because the energy of our Constitution doesn't include, it is really the light of the world. It really has, if you ever read it, the information in that they put in there as our foundation, which we are still trying to live up to, is filled with light and freedom and the power of the people. And it's just so beautiful. I never want to see anything happen to it, except maybe enhanced to cover loopholes where you might have somebody think they can be a dictator or an autocrat.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to seal that.
Speaking of
right up.
dicks,
You need to stop the place where the president can do anything and never have accountability.
Yeah.
Oh no.
no. Yeah.
And I
No.
heard two different readers today, and one was from like a week ago, one was from a couple of days ago. I don't even know if they've ever even listened to each other. I just happened to catch them because I was homesick again today, listening to them, and both of them said in the middle of their readings that both of them said that oh crap, now I've lost it. Damn phone ringing, it went right out of my brain. It'll come back in a minute.
How'd that happen? And you're sick
Shoo!
anyway, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I know how that is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Single cat ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
That's
telling
me.
you.
I'm a single cat lady.
So
Yeah.
I think
anyway,
we're pregnant again.
I'm sure I was alive during the founding fathers presentation. I was one of the groupies that went, oh,
We have documented that we had a relative that was involved with that,
ooh,
Nice.
but he got kicked out and wasn't allowed to sign it because he got drunk and picked a fight with one of the other men.
oh well, that's
Uh-oh.
not gentlemanly, you know.
According to the documents that my aunt had found, that they kicked him out. They said, "No, you're gonna act like that. You can go. We don't need your signature."
Oh, that's too bad. Wow.
Yes, you do. Yeah. Yes, there are lots of young people that
Well,
are showing up.
Isn't Beyonce going to do a little thing?
Yeah, I
for-
think she
Tomorrow,
is.
yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
tomorrow night I think it is.
Yeah.
And,
The big names are coming out. And did you see
Have
where
you-
it's Taylor Swift at a concert, and somebody from Trump's team thought that it would be a great idea to fly a plane over her concert that said, it had something on there about supporting Trump or whatever. And apparently that did not go over very well.
With the Swifties?
Yeah, not with the Swifties. No, it did not go over very well. So, they're getting desperate. They're like, it's being between a rock and a hard place. Like,
have y'all seen or heard the new song by John Bon Jovi?
No.
Oh my God, it's wonderful. I can't think of the name of it right now. I'll send out the link to y'all after the show. But it's talking about freedoms and all inclusive, and it includes everybody. It doesn't matter your religion, your skin color, whatever. I mean, and it's just this really great anthem sounding song, And when I heard it, I was like, oh wow, I can't believe he did that. I mean, it's just he just threw it together with a couple of other singers that he knew that joined him. And I'll look for the link and I'll add it to the comments after the show, and y'all can go and listen to it because it's really good.
Yeah, I like Leah Salva says the Constitution does not allow for the military to police civilians.
Yes.
We learned this at the beginning of basic training. And what did Trump want to do? Militarize the military. I'm saying it wrong, but bring the military in to take care of protesters or just people that
take care of anybody that doesn't say the things that Trump wants to hear.
Yeah.
That he's going to use the military as his own personal police for him. It's just insane that anybody would think that way.
It's insane that he could get away with saying it and not be kicked out of our country. Not kicked out.
You know what?
Run out of town.
Yeah. His grandfather was he was tossed out of Germany because he didn't serve in the military. He was deported out of Germany. Well, maybe it's time that Trump get deported.
I think so.
Let's send him back. And for someone,
send his sponsors to Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
Yes. And for someone who is so against immigrants, why did he marry two of them?
Yes.
Why did he marry two of them?
Ding, 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 ding. There you go.
He has one American child, and that is Tiffany. The other ones are anchor babies.
Oh,
that's all they are. Anchor babies.
The name of the song is "The People's House."
The People's House. Okay.
By Bon Jovi, and I'm gonna put it in the chat right now.
Oh, okay. And Connie B says, it's called The People's House with War and Treaty.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. It's in. Y'all can go listen to it after the show.
Okay,
it is a great video. It really is.
Very good.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. And for those people who, if you think that, fascism is a good thing, if you think that dictatorship is a good thing or whatnot, I got news for you. You can
live in North Korea
out of the United States and go live in one of those countries. In fact, ask your neighbors if they'll take up a collection for you. I'm sure they will.
Because you don't belong here. No. Because we are about liberty. And I love what where was that? I was just reading something that was really true, and I just lost it.
The other thing I wanted to mention today was this thing with Elon Musk giving out $1 million to anybody that supported them.
That's federal law.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting to see what are they going to do with the richest man when he's doing that kind of crap. And then, they're already hinting, like that might not be right. It doesn't seem to affect Elon Musk at all. But what, are they going to arrest him? Are they going to fine him? What are they, he doesn't care. He's got enough money.
Australia won't
arrest his ass.
Australia won't even call Elon. They call him Elroy, Leroy. They call
Yeah.
him Ellen. They call him a whole bunch of names. They won't
Yeah.
even say his name. But I have to say, it's really true. Lorraine is asking what we think about him having that money out there, that $1 million thing. If you register Republican, blah, 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 blah. It is not legal.
No.
Folks.
No, it
not
breaks
legal.
federal
Leon.
finance
Mhm.
Leon
voting
Leon
laws. Yeah.
Yeah.
Musk.
That's one of the reasons that voting day, and I know up here, I assume it's down in the US as well, but up here, bars and whatnot are closed until the afternoon, where they would normally open, at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. They don't open until later on in the day. And that goes back to years ago, when it was come with me, I'll buy you a drink, you go over and vote for my friend so and so, and I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, you're right.
You can't do that. You can't buy someone's vote.
You can't
It's
buy
illegal.
someone's vote.
Oh, it was served
Two
with
of cups.
Okay, good.
He was served with a cease and desist, and I think Merrick Garland had to have his arm twisted to get off the pot to do that. So many people were upset about. Isn't there any comeuppance for this? This is a bridge too far.
Yes.
To
influence
our election, influence the election. Yeah.
Yeah. I just drew for Mr. Elon. Starts out with the 2 of cups. He had a choice to make. Then he got a Wheel of Fortune reversed.
Yeah.
He's going to be losing some money on this.
Yeah.
And then he got Strength reversed. He's
Mm,
going to lose more than just money.
he's gonna. Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Deport his ass back to his country where he was born.
Yeah, exactly.
He got his money from Blood
why,
Diamonds anyway.
Yeah. Why isn't he living there?
Yeah.
And Maureen D'Amico said, yeah, you can't sell alcohol
Yeah.
in my hometown until polls close. Yeah.
Yeah. As it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Well, have we solved the problems of the universe yet?
Almost.
just
Just a couple of stray questions out there that we need to resolve, but I don't know if that'll happen today.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Send him back.
They do need to revoke his citizenship, deport his ass back to South Africa.
Don't you think so?
I'm really glad though that there's a lot of people coming out and saying exactly what Trump is doing wrong, like that general who he was I can't remember who he was.
General Milley, yeah.
And he came out and he says, no,
Kelly,
this person.
Millie,
More and more of that is coming out, but then there's also these other people that I just can't figure out where they're coming from. I mean, they're like heads of big corporations and stuff that are saying basically they
money
because of the money. Exactly, because of the money, because of the taxes, and the whole reason that Trump almost tanked the country back in 2020 when he was finally leaving office, that is because he took away the tax things from the rich, so we weren't getting that money anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what tanked the economy. So, and
I have yet to get any Republican explain to me how cutting taxes adds money to the coffers for the state or the federal government to spend. Explain that to me. How does that work? Because if you cut my salary, I'm not paying more bills.
Right.
I'm
paying
paying
less
less
how
bills.
tariffs on other countries are going to cut our costs.
That made no sense.
It is opposite, folks.
Exactly.
It drives your goods up. The price of your goods you get from China, the price of the goods you get from Japan,
It costs them any extra money.
Taiwan.
It costs you, the consumer. And if you are a small business or if you are a business in the US
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, you're doing business with China, and tariffs are imposed on goods coming in from China. The person that you're dealing with in China says, "Oh, by the way, we have to pay extra to get those goods over to you. So, we can't pay you quite as much for buying your goods." So it's a lose-lose.
A lose-lose. It's a lose-lose all the way.
Yeah, tariffs
They
shouldn't
be buying shit from China anyway. They should be buying it from American right here.
I mean, who here hasn't bought from Temu?
No, I am number one guilty for buying from Temu.
I stand on my facts.
There you go.
I am number one.
And
I will admit, yes,
hold your
I
peace.
buy cheap shit
If
from
Temu ever
Temu.
gets tariffs, we're screwed.
Yes.
$13
Yeah.
dresses or tops are not going to be $13 anymore.
Exactly. They're going to be a lot more.
$5 pair of shoes are going to be $25.
$5 pair of shoes are not going to exist at Temu anymore.
Yes.
If we
And
let
Sherry
tariffs-
can't get her bling anymore.
Yeah.
So here's how it can affect you, folks.
Yeah.
When you see all those Harry Potter items you want on Temu, and you want them really bad, and they're only dollars, $1 here, $1 there, you can order them all. That's me. Never mind.
Yeah. And I must admit, I do shop on Temu. But I'm I get ridiculous things like hats.
Yeah.
And the wigs to go with some of my Halloween costumes and costumes that I have.
I bought a bicycle belt.
They have
I don't know why I don't have a
tarot
bicycle,
cards,
but I've always
oracle
wanted to have a bicycle belt. So I
Yeah,
bought one.
there you go.
Yeah.
They have so many things that you wouldn't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
Or, go for it. I
got my
wasn't going
praying,
to-
my Buddha,
Yeah.
my Buddha turtle.
Yeah.
I got it for
Yeah.
like $2.
I have to say, you can
Plaster of Paris. It's
you
cheap.
can buy with your PayPal. You can buy. I think you can even buy with your Amazon card. The thing is, I buy with my PayPal so that no one sees my credit cards or anything, and I feel safe. So,
And
just-
Lorraine.
I don't ever
QVC.
use bank cards or anything like that online. Everything I run it through my Venmo or through my PayPal.
Yeah.
So they have to go through an extra step before it
Yeah.
gets to me.
Yes.
I learned my lesson the hard way.
yeah.
Yeah, QVC. We have up here in Canada, it's called TSC, the shopping channel.
Mm,
And
yeah.
oh yes. Oh yeah. There was a time when if UPS wasn't delivering something to my house on a regular basis, they would ring the doorbell and say, "Are you okay? Is everything?" Yeah.
You're not ill, are you?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not just for myself, because for our department at work, I do all the purchasing. So I'm
Yeah.
buying crap from like Amazon every other day,
Yeah.
So I have UPS and FedEx. I mean, I have regular drivers for UPS and
Yes.
FedEx who, if they come deliver and I'm not there, the next time they come back a few days later, they're like, "Are you okay? You weren't here the other day. I was worried about you."
exactly, right?
Yes.
Well, Debbie, PayPal donates to Republicans only is okay with me. You can't fight who somebody wants to donate to. And I can't boycott every single company that, like, am I going to stop buying on Amazon? No, I buy on there every day.
Can I
No,
afford
I
to
was
not
gonna
buy
say-
from Amazon? No.
With all
Can
the
I
money
afford
the
to not buy from Temu? No.
with all the money the Golden Girls are spending, just the four of us right here, we're saving the economy.
I'm telling
Exactly.
you, right? I absolutely 100%.
That's it.
And
Solve the
Lorraine,
world's problem. Buy
not-
from Amazon.
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with Reiki-10, but I have it written down. I will be checking it out after the show.
Reiki Jin, what's that?
Yeah. What is it?
I'm not. Well, I think it's because we were talking about shopping on QVC and all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
yeah, she
I
said
know Allie buys from another company that's kind of like Temu, but it's a
Shine.
different one. Shine,
Yeah,
that's the
Shine.
name of it. I always
Yeah.
forget to ask her the name of that store. I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget.
Yeah.
I need to go check it out.
I have to write that name down.
There you go. You want to know where to shop and what to shop for? I'll tell you where it is.
Yeah, because Temu sent me an email and asked me if I would be willing to let them sponsor me with their products. I'm like,
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
have to
trust
think about
that.
that. I don't know.
Oh,
no.
that's a no.
I'm like, I don't mind if I show up a few items and say, you can buy this at Temu, but I'm just like, I don't know how far they want to go with it. So it's like, I got to look into that first.
Yeah.
I've been approached by several different companies for different things wanting to know that. And I've told no to all of them so far because all of them had something a little off for me. So I was like,
that's just it. Yeah. It, we need info for this and we need that. And no, we'll do the ad directly on your channel. No, you won't. No, you won't. Start your own channel.
Yeah. Marine's saying I won't buy from Temu because they hacked my mom's account. And that's why you have to use PayPal. You can't, there's a whole bunch of emails you get once you start sending things buying from Temu. And you have to 90% of the time never click on any of those emails. Only click inside the app because some of them are going to be baloney trying to get your info. Do not. And this is what elderly people do without realizing it. Never.
Well, and people look at even young people get caught up in it. They do that to us at work all the time. They send phishing emails from our security office.
It looks like
Temu, who's going to click the link. Yeah, just see who's going to click the link.
Exactly.
And I'm usually really careful. And I've actually clicked a couple of links because it looked legit, But it's because they add an S or they put a colon where a colon
and you don't
doesn't
realize
belong,
it. You think it's them, but it's not.
Yeah, you have to be so careful.
That's why you use something like Venmo or PayPal, and they can't track you that way. But don't open those other emails because those email links will take.
I don't ever click anything inside of an email. If I get something, you get a discount, I'll go directly to the app and then I'll open the app and say, okay, where's my discount? You just email me about.
Exactly.
Well, as you can see, it doesn't matter the topic. The Golden Girls have.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is for politics. Oh, well, it was kind of political because we were talking about buying from China and tariffs.
Well, no, I think that's great.
Tariffs on China.
It doesn't matter. Like I said, it doesn't matter what the topic is. It went into a perfect flow from one thing to another because the Golden Girls, hey, we got it going on. We know what's happening, and we like
to spend money.
Really. We've been into this a little over an hour, so it's coming to an end. But we will be back in 2 weeks, and by that time, we will know about politics. By that time,
I'll tell you.
Val's up next.
Oh my gosh! Everything hits on the same.
No,
week.
actually, why don't I have that in 2 weeks' time? I don't have it. I'll have to check back later, folks.
Okay.
So we may not be doing it in 2 weeks.
No, we will be doing it. I just don't have it on my November I can't believe November. I don't have it on my calendar, but it should be Golden Girls. It should be Val. Yeah, so that would be on let's see, that's one. That would be the 7th.
I just got the wrong week. Okay.
Yep, November 7th.
Yeah, 7th.
Yeah.
November 7th.
Yeah, see
Pardon us while we update our calendar.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I have, you know what? I stopped writing everything on my calendar. I actually have stickers that have got the shows, and I'll just leave out, who's hosting the show or whatever. And yeah, usually towards the end of the month, I'll take out my stickers and just start to put.
Who's after Val? You or me?
After Val is me, and then you.
Okay.
So the 7th will be Val,
21st.
the 21st will be me, and
Okay.
then the first part in December, I think either the
December,
5th or the 12th. I know. Yeah, I can't
Well,
believe it.
time is flying, and and we're about done here. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank you again for all your input, because you guys are so knowledgeable, and it just really helps our conversation continue. And so until next time, hopefully that's in 2 weeks. I think it is. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you then.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.